So Mombasa actually means business. And the dynamic about that is its heritage is over, I'll probably say, 4 generations in as far as Mombasa meaning business. So you have a lot of family businesses. It is tied to the tacit knowledge that has been passed down generation to generation, and also then brings out the intangible heritage that uniquely brings out this ecosystem that is coastal, that is dynamic, that is enterprising, and that tells a story. When you think of my aunt who makes cold pressed coconut oil, and considers herself doing biashara ndogo ndogo, yeah, it's actually not biashara ndogo ndogo, because that coconut oil, you can't actually put a currency value to it. The only reason we give it a currency value is because there is a market somewhere that has either experienced coconut oil before and therefore says, this one, when we look at it, we can pay $5, $10. But what I love about the cottage industry is that what we are now seeing an opportunity to do is to actually set the price. And the truth of the matter is, when the experience is right, they will pay. And what we then are able to do with Mombasa Means Business is actually look at it from a global perspective. So we can take a sample of Europe, Asia, and figure out who is it that is actually willing to pay the highest price. So it becomes, as it were, an auction, but a global auction that we're now introducing the cottage industry to. And that's what I see the next season for cottage industry being, particularly from this great hub of Mombasa. So some of the areas of growth include collaboration and unity of purpose between cottage industry and government. Government needs to understand the needs, I think, again, and the reason why I say again is we all assume that government has always known what business needs. But the two have to be able to sit around a table and agree. Sometimes agree to disagree, but the most important thing is arrive at what I call negotiated outcomes. What that looks like is it's a continuous conversation. It's about relationship. It's about knowing what each one is bringing to the table. It's also about knowing what my target point is. So the advice that we would give to the cottage industry and or small industry is first not to see themselves as small. They just need to see themselves as who they are. Because a lot of our cottage industry is raw material, natural resource based. So if it's fruit, yeah, who am I and what do I bring to this fruit processing business? And how is it that I can best package it, and most importantly, tell a story around it? It's authentic, it's tied to a natural ecosystem, it's tied to knowledge that was passed down generations, it's tied to an environment that it comes from. And if we can actually begin to tell the story of who we are, what we'll actually be able to do is actually thrive in the global commercial space. When we look at some of the brands that we today consume, particularly in the what I call agribusiness or food or cosmetic, a lot of these businesses started with a story. Whether it was a secret recipe, whether it was a cream that was used in a certain community, that's what we consume today as these big brands that are now retailing on the high street. The one place the story hasn't been told is Africa. And the one place that it hasn't also been told from is this beautiful island called Mombasa.